Hello, cool cats, groovy chicks, and finger-popping daddies. Welcome to the Jazz Ranch. I'm your ultra-dominant ego man. You can call me Mr. Ego if you like. I know the KH, he's on vacation. He'll be coming home soon. But anyway, I'm taking over the channel. And some subscribers have written to us and they said, tell us more stories or anecdotes about the KH, because he had quite a history. But anyway, the KH, he started out in business. He got a degree from BU. And he went into banking, and he wasn't happy. So he went out to the West Coast, and he came back, and he said, I'm going to get into music. Well, he was hanging around in his local town on the coast here, and he went into this coffee house one night, and he met these musicians that were from New York. They were playing at this coffee house, and he sat in with them, and they hired him to play the gig for the summer. Anyway, the flute player was the leader, and he said to KH one night, he said, we got a gig over in such and such a town at a club over there called the Morton House. And they went over there to play on a Saturday night, and they're playing the gig. All of a sudden, this lady comes up to the bandstand, and she starts taking her clothes off. Well, what they didn't realize was they were backing up exotic dancers. That's what they called them. They were glorified strippers, whatever you want to call them. But if the KH's mother ever knew that, he would have been in really big trouble. But anyway, what happened was they were on a break, and the singer came up and said, the flute ain't cutting it. You got to get a saxophone player in here right now. Anyway, so the flute player called up Hartford, and he got Bobby Johnson to come down from Hartford. Anyway, Bobby Johnson came down, he saved the gig. And when he heard KH play, he said, well, I got some gigs for you up in Hartford. So KH went up to Hartford to play with Bobby Johnson and them, and he got in with the in crowd up there. Pretty soon, he's in the house band in Hartford, and he's backing up people like Chet Baker, Clark Terry, Clifford Jordan, Jimmy Heath, Zoot Sims. He got to play with all these cats because they came in from New York to play at this club in Hartford, and it was so easy to get there, that's how it worked out. So anyway, if it wasn't for the strippers, the KH would have never got into the music business. Now, he wouldn't be here today, and you wouldn't be here. So there you have it. Now, wait a minute. He's coming up the walkway. I'm seeing him. He's going to be mad at me for telling that story. Oh, I'm sorry. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Jazz Ranch. I'm sorry about the ultra-dominant ego man. He tries to take over and everything, and I'm sorry about that story that he told you, but it actually is true. And, the alter ego sometimes would tell you things that, or say things that you were not feel comfortable saying. I'm not comfortable telling that story, particularly if my mother was still around, but God rest her merry soul, she's not. So, at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this story. It is true. And I was very lucky and fortunate in my younger years when I didn't know that much about jazz to play with some of the greats. And through the years, that happened as well. So now tonight I have something for you special that is going to be helpful to beginner level jazz players. And one of the problems we have is getting the syncopation and the rhythm right on melodic lines, and also being able to spread out the harmony into two hands, so it's spread voicing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I hope it's helpful for you. Please write to me and let me know. So here we go now with a great song. It's a very popular song by Duke Ellington, and you all know it, I'm sure, called Don't Get Around Much Anymore. So here we go.